worry, don't worry. You okay? You need a water, sir?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are joining you for an exclusive ground coverage from Jammu and Kashmir. The tranquility behind me, ladies and gentlemen, might deceive what has been transpiring in Jammu and Kashmir. This tranquility perhaps can be seen at Dal Lake in Srinagar, but it also reflects the kind of resolve that Indian citizens have taken today against terrorism. As you can see in the visuals, there are tourists who are still taking shikara rides in Srinagar at Dal Lake, refusing to be scared by terrorists and their agendas of destabilizing the country. And therefore, today on the show, at 6 p.m. on Times Now, we get you exclusive conversations and analysis of what has been happening, the fast-changing developments in Pahalgam in Jammu and Kashmir, and the response that the government is giving to it. But before I go to my guests, let's quickly get you the big breaking news that we are getting in at the moment. This is coming in from Kulgam in South Kashmir. There have been gunshots heard during a cordon and search operation that is underway in the region. This is done by security forces, but right now we know that gunshots were fired there. Let me quickly go across to my colleague Yavar, who is joining us with more on this. Yavar, what more details do you have? What exactly is happening in Kulgam?
Well, Fred, this is basically the Tengmarg in the Kulgam where this operation has been launched by the security forces. The official sources are telling me that the gunshots were heard during the cordon and search operation, and there has been some gunshots that were fired there. Basically, there was some information that there's a presence of certain militants in the upper east of the Kulgam. Following that, this operation takes place, and when the security forces were approaching towards a suspect spot, the hiding militants fired upon them, and eventually now this has turned into an encounter. Sources say that more reinforcement have been pressed into service. Now remember that back-to-back operations are being witnessed in the Kashmir Valley. Remember that this operation came in a light barely hour after the Home Minister asked officer to intensify anti-terror operation in the Kashmir Valley. Somehow we are witnessing that this search operation has witnessed the exchange of fresh gunfire in the Kulgam. As I'm speaking to you, the officials are saying that the operation is still intact in the area. Back to you, Rishta.
Right, Yavar, stay with us. Let's tell our viewers that, remember, while terrorists have their own agenda and they want to destabilize Jammu and Kashmir, our security forces are giving a befitting reply to every terrorist that comes with the agenda of destabilizing Jammu and Kashmir and to not let it prosper. Remember, in the national capital as we speak, viewers, there's also a meeting that is underway led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This is the crucial CCS meeting where Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah, the External Affairs Minister, Finance Minister, as well as the National Security Advisor Ajit Doval are present. Let me quickly go across to my colleague Pragya, who's joining us with what has been happening there at the meeting. Pragya, what more is happening? What is the latest that you're hearing as far as this crucial CCS meet is concerned in Delhi?
So meeting is about to begin because Rajnath Singh, who is Raksha Mantri, has just reached. Before that, Union Home Minister Amit Shah has also reached. And we are given to understand that External Affairs Minister Mr. Jai Shankar has already reached along with NSA Doval. So all of them, all the members who will be in this particular meeting have already reached. This is going to be chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. There are some options that have been shortlisted ahead of this particular meeting. And remember, Rajnath Singh had a meeting with all the defense chiefs in the afternoon along with NSA Doval. They also have shortlisted few of the options. There is a loud and clear message from Rajnath Singh as well just few hours before, and in which he said that those who have strategized this particular dastardly terror attack on the soil of India, they will hear this, the revenge that we will going to have. We will avenge this, and the revenge that we are going to have will be loud and clear. They will be hearing this very loud and clear. This is a very strong, straight message that is coming from Raksha Mantri of the country, and this is the language which Prime Minister in fact had also spoken yesterday when this terror attack took place on the soil of India. They are not letting this go. A very crucial meeting where strategy will be chalked out how to give Pakistan a befitting reply, because all the indications, evidence that have been gathered, we are given to understand, the sources are saying this is an attack that has come from the Pakistan soil. And in fact, Home Minister has also prepared a report. He went there yesterday itself, visited the site, met the eyewitness who were in fact in the midst of that particular attack, heard them, and also paid respect to those who lost their lives. Apart from that, he also met the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir and Governor. There was a high-profile meeting. He took all the ground report, and in fact, whatever the intelligence that he had gathered there, it will also be discussed in this particular meeting. All of that is going to take place in this very crucial meeting, a highest decision-making body as far as defense matters and national security is concerned.
Right, Pragya and Yavar, I will keep coming back to you for the latest that's been happening across Kashmir as well as the national capital. But viewers, let's also listen in to what Defence Minister Rajnath Singh had to say earlier about this dastardly attack.
मैं इस मंच से देशवासियों को आश्वस्त करता हूं, घटना के मद्देनजर भारत सरकार वो हर कदम उठाएगी जो जरूरी और उपयुक्त होगा, और हम सिर्फ उन लोगों तक नहीं पहुंचेंगे जिन्होंने इस घटना को अंजाम दिया है, हम उन तक भी पहुंचेंगे जिन्होंने पर्दे के पीछे बैठकर हिंदुस्तान की सरजमी पर ऐसी नापाक हरकतों की साजिशें रची हैं। भारत एक इतनी पुरानी सभ्यता और इतना बड़ा देश है जिसको ऐसे किसी भी आतंकी गतिविधियों से किसी भी सूरत में डराया नहीं जा सकता। ऐसी हरकतों का जिम्मेदार और इसके जिम्मेदार लोगों को आने वाले कुछ ही समय में जोरदार तरीके से नजर आएगा। मैं देशवासियों को आश्वस्त करना चाहता हूं।
So that was the Defence Minister, ladies and gentlemen, Rajnath Singh, who was speaking on this attack. Of course, the government of India has been reiterating the fact that this attack will be avenged by our security forces, and that is continuing to be happening since the attack took place yesterday. But right now, viewers, as we told you, that crucial CCS meeting is getting underway in the national capital. My colleague Ravikant is joining us on the broadcast to get us an understanding of what's really expected there in that meeting. Ravikant, क्या details बाहर आ रही हैं, क्या कुछ एक्सपेक्ट किया जा सकता है इस बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट मीटिंग में अभी जो सीसीएस की शुरू होने वाली है?
देखिए, इस वक्त प्रधानमंत्री आवास पर कैबिनेट कमेटी ऑन सिक्योरिटी की अहम बैठक शुरू हो चुकी है। सबसे पहले जानकारी यही दी गई है क्योंकि होम मिनिस्टर खुद घटनास्थल पर थे, उन्होंने तमाम सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस के जवानों से ब्रीफिंग ली है। आखिरकार इसके पीछे कौन लोग जिम्मेदार हैं, क्या कुछ घटनाक्रम वहां पर रहा, उन तमाम चीज़ों से प्राइम मिनिस्टर को ब्रीफ किया जाएगा। खुद हो सकता है कि होम मिनिस्टर अमित शाह प्रधानमंत्री को पूरे घटनाक्रम की जानकारी दें। सुबह से लेकर लगातार बैठकों का दौर जारी रहा। प्रधानमंत्री जैसे ही दिल्ली लैंड करते हैं, विदेश मंत्री और फॉरेन सेक्रेटरी प्राइम मिनिस्टर को ब्रीफ करते हैं। उसके बाद डिफेंस मिनिस्टर ने तीनों सेनाओं के चीफ के साथ और एनएसए के साथ अलग से बैठक की है। तमाम इनपुट्स जो है वो गैदर किए गए हैं और उसके बाद कैबिनेट कमेटी ऑन सिक्योरिटी की जो बैठक प्रधानमंत्री आवास पर प्रारंभ हो चुकी है, क्योंकि पूरे हिंदुस्तान में इस बात को लेकर गुस्सा है और प्राइम मिनिस्टर जो है इस बात को बखूबी समझते हैं। आपको याद होगा, चाहे वो पुलवामा की घटना हो या उरी की घटना हो, प्रधानमंत्री ने कहा था कि आतंकियों ने गलत पंगा ले लिया है और उसके बाद जो सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस ने पूरी प्लानिंग की, पूरा समय लिया और उसको इंप्लीमेंट किया गया। इस बार भी जवाब जो है वो घातक होगा और उसकी प्लानिंग की जाएगी सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस के साथ। लेकिन इतना तय है कि हिंदुस्तान आतंकवाद को जवाब जरूर देगा और इस बार का जवाब जो है पहले से और ज्यादा घातक होने की उम्मीद जताई जा रही है।
जी रविकांत, धन्यवाद हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए। फिलहाल व्यूअर्स, रविकांत, my colleague, of course, getting us the latest on what's been happening in the national capital as far as the government's response to this terror attack is concerned. Remember, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is leading this key CCS meeting which has begun in the national capital. We'll keep getting you the latest of what's transpiring in that meeting. But let me also introduce my guests on the show this evening. I'm joined by Lalit Ambardar. He's an activist. Joining us on the broadcast, Captain Captain Akhilesh Saxena is joining us. Major Samarpal Singh Toor is joining us, and Colonel Tej Tikku will be joining us. Defense expert will be joining us as well in a short while from now. Welcome to all of you. Captain Akhilesh Saxena, let me begin with you. This is dastardly, this is horrific, this is obviously targeted against unarmed, innocent civilians who cannot defend themselves at the moment. But it also reflects, and evidence suggests, that there is once again a Pakistani hand in this.
Yes. So let me tell you, Pakistan right now is a failed state. And right now, in terms of economy, they are having so much of burden of the international loan that they are not even able to make their repayment. In terms of Balochistan, they have got a lot of internal issues. So they need some point to divert the attention. On the other hand, whatever we are seeing is just a front face. But the real person who is doing all this conspiracy is the Pakistani army. We all know that. We cannot fool ourselves more than this. So they are the one who has got never guts to take the direct attack with Indian army. They tried in 1971, they lost. They did the conspiracy during the Kargil war, taken all the advantage, but brave Indian soldiers kicked them out from the country. After that, they never had the guts, the courage to take direct face-to-face fight with Indian army. They have got only one policy: bleed India by 100 cuts. Means go make these terrorists go into the state, attack the terrorists, attack the Indian armed forces, attack the tourists and innocent. That's the way. So I can clearly say that Pakistani army is an army of cowards. They do not have the courage to take direct, attack with Indian army. If you have got courage, please come. Please fight with us, man to man, and then we will show you what is courage is all about. You have become so coward that you are attacking our innocent Indian. This is attack on our unity, on the honor, and then India is not going to sit back. We will take the revenge. I am very clear. See, the time has gone when India is just talking about Aman ki Asha. We have done it enough, but now I think that Asha has gone forever. Because every time we have gone with a peace, we say we will take the first initiative. Even before Kargil, Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee gone with the peace ki Asha. But see what we have given.
Okay. Captain Akhilesh Saxena, let me also get in Lalit Ambadar into this conversation. Lalit Ambadar, the fact of the matter is that even today, shamelessly, Pakistan has been denying any responsibility, any accountability in this dastardly attack, which has only targeted unarmed civilians, innocents losing their loved ones, innocents losing their own lives. But Pakistan continues to deny this. How far can they get? This is, a country which is known for perpetrating terrorism. This is also a country that has time and again attacked the stability of India and doesn't want Jammu and Kashmir to prosper.
Listen, my take on it is slightly different. The point is, Pakistan has been doing it for the past, since its inception. And you have to understand, Pakistan's birth itself is a fraud. It's illegitimate. And it was the Pakistanis did not fall for the heaven from the sky. They were all Indians in 14th August 1947, right? And they were from UP, Muslims from UP, Bihar, Dakhan, Maharashtra. They betrayed their millions. They betrayed their mother India in the name of Jinnah's True Nation Theory, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan's True Nation Theory, Iqbal's True Nation Theory, and created Pakistan on 14th August 1947. That's the beginning of it. And they claim Muhammadin Qasim is the first citizen of Pakistan. You know who's Muhammadin Qasim? Who invaded Sindh 1,000 years ago. The Pakistan was created out of hatred for Hindus, and it is us bloody idiots, emotional fools, that we have been trying to pursue peace with Pakistan. And I have been saying it for 35 years. I've been writing on it. Pursuing peace with Pakistan is like pursuing mirage. And don't expect them to. Every rocket and missile they make is named after those very barbarians, Babar or Ghaznavis, who inflicted genocide on Hindus for hundreds of years. So we have to understand their psychology. And talking about they are poor, their economy is doing bad, why should they be doing it? They don't have their house in order. Listen, what else could they suffer? They suffered, half of their country was lost in 1971. That did not deter them to launch Kashmir Jihad. That did not deter them, and you're talking about what happened yesterday. It was a miniature of what Israel suffered on 7th of October 2023. But in terms of India, I repeat, the implications are very severe because Israel is a small country, India is a big country, and we have been claiming, and rightly so, because our security grid in Kashmir is very tight. But whenever they are able to breach it, they hit us very hard. But we don't have to expect anything from there. And on this belief, in order to have peace with Pakistan, we have been very defensive. We have been fighting this Pakistan's war on our own soil. We are losing our boys, fighting for our own people, fighting for our own land on our own soil. Till we shift this theater of war across LOC, across IB, international border, into the territory of Pakistan and make them bleed the way they have been bleeding us for 30 years. And let me tell you, India, I draw the analogy with Israel. I hope, and Raksha Mantri's statement that you played a while ago is very encouraging.
Okay, Lalit Ambedkar, I will come back to you. We're getting a big breaking news at the moment. Let's quickly cut across to this big breaking news that's coming in. We've gotten access to this very crucial information, very important to the kind of situation that we are seeing in Jammu and Kashmir. In February, viewers, this year, all three terror outfits, Hizbul Mujahideen, Lashkar-e-Toiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed, had held a meeting as well as a protest march in solidarity where they took out slogans in support of Palestine and Kashmir. And that really reflects the kind of agenda and the kind of sinister plot and strategy that terror groups have been making to destabilize Jammu and Kashmir. My colleague Bhavtosh is joining us to get us more details on this. Bhavtosh, what more details do you have? This was a support rally for Hamas where slogans in support of Palestine as well as Kashmir were taken out.
Yes, Shreya, in fact, this rally and protest march was held in Rawalkot in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, and it was for the first time attended by all three proscribed organizations, Lashkar-e-Toiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed and Hizbul Mujahideen. They gathered at the same place. Leaders from Hamas also addressed the gathering, and the agenda was to target not only India but also Israel. They raised slogans in favor of Palestinians and also said that the struggle for a separate Kashmir will continue. Now, this happened in the first week of February, and the dastardly attack happened yesterday. Now, many are saying that the attack that has taken place in Pahalgam, it was in fact decided there and then that attack will take place, and the intel assessment report that we had access clearly mentions two things: that the radio signals as well as communication from the terrorists have in fact happened yesterday after the attack has been traced to Muzaffarabad in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and also in Karachi. The investigation in that case continues. It's still very preliminary stage, but the rally that was taken out in first week of February clearly shows that all three proscribed organizations had joined hands with Hamas.
That's right, Bhavtosh, clearly reflecting, as we've been reiterating, that it is Pakistan which is behind these attacks. Let me quickly go across to Major Samarpal Tour also, who's on the broadcast with us. Major Tour, we've been telling our viewers all of these details that are trickling in. All traces go to Pakistan, whether it's the handlers in Muzaffarabad or the Falcon squad that is being talked about, which basically are terrorists trained under Jaish-e-Mohammed and the Lashkar-e-Toiba to attack, to have targeted attacks and then run away and hide in the bushes and the forests. Obviously this has been going on, but what is, now the solution to it? What can the security agencies and the government in particular do to tackle this kind of situation?
I mean, looking at the whole scenario in the present time, and especially today, being the 23rd of April.
Major Tour, apologies for interrupting you. I'll come back to you just to let our viewers know that we are getting live visuals of the mortal remains of Vivek Narwal reaching Karnal. Remember, is one of those who lost their lives. A rather tragic story there of the naval officer losing his life in this horrific attack. And as we speak here on the broadcast, viewers, remember there are families which have been torn apart due to the kind of absolute sinister plots that Pakistan and its terror groups have been making against Jammu and Kashmir and India. Major Tor, go ahead.
So the first step that should come from the Ministry of External Affairs should be that they should withdraw the Indian High Commission officials from Pakistan. The Indian consulate or Indian embassy in Pakistan should be shut for once and for all. It is not required right now at the moment, especially with the way how they are behaving. So I really do not know that why is the government not taken this call yet. Secondly, I would also want to stress upon why is the Pakistan embassy still existing in Delhi? Why is it still open? Their High Commissioner should have been called, reprimanded, and should have been asked to leave the country. I mean, let us now be serious about things and let us shut the Pakistan consulate. We don't need them. Let us stop all the trade and the visa distributions, and then we start talking. Then we start talking to the United Nations. Then we start talking other than the United Nations. Let us start talking to, the G5 countries. Let us start choking Pakistan from the trade routes. Let us start restricting the naval movement of all the Pakistan naval ships. Let us monitor their submarines more closer. Let us tighten the noose on them. Let us get the heat more from Balochistan onto Pakistan. Let us get more close ties with the Taliban so that it can tighten its noose around the Durand line against Pakistan. So if Pakistan is with the notion that if they can destabilize Bangladesh and they can go to war with us at the Western Front, trust me, Pakistan won't survive multiple fronts. And there are different ways and means to do it. So a conscious call has to be taken. Number 3. Now coming down to the incident that unfolded, it has been a sheer failure of the state machinery. I mean, it is peak of tourist season. You should have known the vulnerable areas and vulnerable points. There should have been meetings conducted by Omar Abdullah in terms of the tourist security and smooth season of tourism. But Omar Abdullah never bothered to hold any meeting. He did not even bother to visit Ramban to see the landslide casualties. So it's a real casual attitude from the state government of Jammu Kashmir as well.
Sure. So a lot of, unanswered questions, lot of accountability that needs to be fixed, not just here, but also in Pakistan. Remember, this has been an absolutely tragic turn of events in Kashmir. But remember, viewers, as we speak, there is a very crucial, important meeting of the CCS led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the national capital that is currently underway, where they are strategizing on the next few steps of the Government of India as well as the security forces. We'll keep getting you the latest on that. I'd like to thank all my guests who joined us on the broadcast and gave their perspective on what the government as well as the security forces can do next as this crucial CCS meet happens. With that, let me go across to my colleague Manoj, who's joining us from Karnal, where Navy officer Vivek Narwal's mortal remains have reached. Manoj, क्या कुछ हो रहा है? ये बहुत ही दुखद एक मोमेंट है घर वालों के लिए, उन सब के लिए जो उनके करीब थे, जो उनके चाहने वाले थे, जो उनको इतना रिस्पेक्ट करते थे. क्या कुछ हो रहा है वहाँ पर?
जी बिल्कुल देखिए, बहुत ही भावुक ये पल है. पार्थिव शरीर विनय नरवाल का पहुंच चुका है और तस्वीरें हम आपको दिखा रहे हैं करनाल से, उनके घर से. आप देखिए, ये ऐसी तस्वीरें हैं जो किसी के भी कलेजे को चीर सकती हैं. एक बेटा, इकलौता बेटा, जिसकी 3 दिन पहले शादी हुई थी और वो अपनी पत्नी के साथ हनीमून के लिए गया था, लेकिन वहां पर जो कुछ हुआ वो पूरे देश ने देखा. वो तस्वीर जहां विनय नरवाल का पार्थिव शरीर जमीन पर पड़ा है और उनकी पत्नी साथ में बैठी हैं, उसने पूरे देश को रुला दिया है। और अब पार्थिव शरीर घर पहुंचा है। घर में उनकी मां है, एक बहन है, पिता है, दादा हैं। और सुबह से ही हम लगातार देख रहे थे कि किस तरीके से वो बहुत ज्यादा भावुक थे, क्योंकि अब उनको समझ नहीं आ रहा कि आखिर वो क्या कहें और अब क्या करें। लेकिन जो हुआ है उसको सबको स्वीकार करना पड़ेगा। और जब वो पार्थिव शरीर यहाँ पर लाया गया, लोगों में भावुकता के साथ साथ काफी गुस्सा था। भारत माता की जय के नारे भी लगे, पाकिस्तान मुर्दाबाद के भी नारे लगे। और ये परिवार की तरफ से कहा गया कि ये सही समय है पाकिस्तान को ऐसा सबक सिखाने का कि वो दोबारा ऐसी हिमाकत ना कर सके। तो तस्वीरें देखिए, रुला ये तस्वीरें हैं। पार्थिव शरीर पहुंच चुका है, आज ही अंतिम संस्कार किया जाएगा। हरियाणा के मुख्यमंत्री
जी मनोज, बेहद दुखद क्षण है ये, सिर्फ मेजर नरवाल के परिवार वालों के लिए ही नहीं, पूरे देश के लिए। व्यूअर्स, एज वी गेट दोज extremely heart-touching, overwhelming visuals rather from Karnal, we also tell you that a crucial CCS meeting is happening, and on Times Network we will get you minute-to-minute details of what's transpiring in that meeting. Right now it's time for a short break. News and updates and our exclusive ground coverage from Jammu and Kashmir continues right here.